Caitlin Clark, my sister, my cousin, my auntie, my mamacita, my friend.
So she did that in support of Caitlin Clark making the All-Star team. As the Indiana Fever cut a video for Kelsey.
That is the entire offense. A rookie called her teammate a few sweet names on a team video, and by the next morning, strangers had decided she needed to be punished for it. Congratulating a coworker? That's the crime. So how did being nice for 5 seconds turn Raven Johnson into the most hated player on the internet overnight?
You see? Here y'all go again. All of a sudden, we got all of this nasty work. Raven Johnson, black card, her black card is being pulled. She's getting blasted by black people all over the internet for supporting Caitlin Clark.
Here's how we got here. On Thursday, the WNBA announced the starters for the 2026 All-Star game, and 3 of them came off one roster: Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever. That has never happened before. No franchise in league history had ever put 3 starters in the same All-Star game. So the Fever did the obvious thing and posted a video of the team congratulating them. And when it got to the rookie, Raven Johnson, she gave her little tribute to Clark. That's the moment. That's the footage that set the internet on fire. And within hours, people weren't debating her jump shot. They were saying her black card was getting revoked. Sit with that word, because it's about to tell you this fight was never really about a video.
In the All-Star game. How ridiculous is that? You got these people blasting her online, talking about, oh, you're not black no more. Your black card is revoked. You're no longer invited to the cookout. All of this stuff because she supported a teammate making the All-Star team. It's freaking disgusting. We got to get into it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video.
Let's translate what's actually being said, because if you don't know the language, it just sounds like noise. Pulling somebody's black card, telling them they're not invited to the cookout. That's a way of saying you're a traitor to your own people. It's meant to sting. It's meant to isolate. Nobody said this about her defense. Nobody said this about her assists. The punishment had nothing to do with basketball, and everything to do with who she was nice to. And the people handing out that punishment would be furious if you described what they were doing out loud. So let's keep describing it.
Absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. Look at this. Did aliens nap this girl and scramble her brain? I'm worried. Raven, please. Brain fried. She's trying to survive that racist environment, so lie for the bigots or go home, or tell the truth and don't go home. Look at this stuff. Raven, we love you, but please don't claim.
Because the replies get worse the longer you look. People asking, seriously, whether a teammate must have scrambled her brain, like the only explanation for Raven Johnson being pleasant is that she suffered head trauma. People saying her brain is fried. And my favorite dark one, people insisting she's just trying to survive a racist environment, as if she's a hostage blinking out a distress signal, as if she can't possibly mean the nice thing she said, so it has to secretly be a cry for help. Read that framing back. A grown professional athlete says something kind about a teammate, and rather than let that be true, complete strangers invent a story where she's been brainwashed, damaged, or held captive. That is not analysis. That is a group of people who could not emotionally handle watching a black player show Caitlin Clark genuine affection, and who needed to build an elaborate excuse for why it doesn't count. When you have to invent brain damage to explain kindness, the problem is not the person being kind.
These black people right here. I hate to say this, but Raven is gone. I know you all still have a lot of hope for her, but she has chosen her side. Chosen what's it? Supporting a teammate? Making the All-Star team? What are we doing here?
And then it hardens into a ruling. Raven is gone. She's chosen her side. Chosen her side. As if there are sides. As if a WNBA locker room is a battlefield with two flags and you have to pick one. There are no sides here. There's a team. Her literal job is to play next to these women, share a bench with them, fly to road games with them, and try to win a championship with them. But that phrase, she's chosen her side, tells you exactly how these folks are wired. To them, being decent to Caitlin Clark is defection. It's treason. It's crossing enemy lines. So they've written Raven Johnson off, past tense, gone, like a soldier who deserted. Meanwhile, the actual Raven Johnson is standing in her own locker room, in her own jersey, next to three of her own teammates who just made history. She didn't cross a line. There was never a line. They drew one, and then convicted her of stepping over it.
Look, this is from Chocolate Latte Legs. Never thought I would say this, but I'll never cheer for Raven Johnson again. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Then it stops being worry and becomes a threat to walk away from her entirely. This one, from a commenter, says they never thought they'd say it, but they will never cheer for Raven Johnson again. Never again for this. Remember who we're talking about. The number 10 overall pick in this year's draft. A rookie who's been in the league for a matter of weeks. A kid still learning the speed of the pro game. And grown adults are publicly announcing they're done rooting for her because she was sweet on camera for 5 seconds. Now here's the piece I need you to hold on to, because it comes all the way back at the end of this and it flips the entire story. The loudest voices doing this, the ones policing her blackness and revoking her card, are the very same crowd that spends every single day online, accusing Caitlin Clark's fans of being the racists. Keep that in your back pocket. We are going to circle right back to it, and when we do, it's going to land.
Are you serious? Fans from college turned on Raven Johnson because she congratulated her teammate Caitlin Clark on being a WNBA All-Star. Here's Raven with Sophie Cunningham and teammates in a TikTok. Raven, I mean, this is crazy, man. Look at this. Look at what it says. Black folks just disowned Raven Johnson, all because she simply congratulated Caitlin Clark for being a starter in the WNBA All-Star game.
And understand, this is not one anonymous troll in a basement. The people turning on her include fans who followed Raven Johnson for years, all the way back through college. So let me remind you who she actually is, because it makes this even uglier. She spent 4 years at South Carolina under Dawn Staley. She won a national championship. By the end, she wasn't some role player. She was the point guard, the floor general, the veteran voice, calming down the freshmen mid-game, the leader of one of the best programs in the country. People watched this woman grow up in that jersey. They celebrated her, they defended her, and now some of those exact same fans are dropping her. Not over a bad stretch of games, not over some off-court scandal, but over one friendly sentence about a teammate. Loyalty that held up through 4 seasons of college basketball, through wins and losses and deep tournament runs, could not survive Raven Johnson being kind to Caitlin Clark one time. That should tell you the loyalty was always conditional. It was never really about her. It was about who she was allowed to like.
I don't mind saying it. Now check this out. Check this out.
Do I think Caitlin should say something? I don't think that she has the responsibility to. I think it's still a lot It's
Now, mind you, Caitlyn has already spoken out for black people in the league. She's spoken against fan harassment online for all players. She's already done that. Now watch this.
It's unfair to put that on a player, but I have a lot less grace for it than I did in 2024, where I was like, hey, you know.
Now watch the sleight of hand, because this is where it gets slippery. The moment the pile-on against Raven starts to look bad, and it looks bad, the conversation quietly changes targets. Suddenly, it's not about the people abusing her. Suddenly, the big question everyone needs answered is, what is Caitlin Clark going to say about this? Here's a commentator laying out that case, arguing she has a lot less grace for Clark staying quiet now than she did back in 2024. And on the surface, honestly, that's not a crazy thing to say. A superstar can fairly be asked to stand up for a teammate. I'm not going to pretend that's an outrageous ask, but watch the actual maneuver here. The trouble started with a mob attacking Raven Johnson. And within about a day, that has been spun around into a trial about what Caitlin Clark owes the world. The people who actually threw the punches vanish from the story completely, and the one person who didn't throw anything is suddenly the defendant. That's not an accident. That's how the pressure always gets redirected onto her.
She just got here. There's so many people using her to, you know, further agendas. She's a kid, blah, blah, blah. This is now 3 years into her career. And if she's silent, it's her decision to do so. And it will be read as such. I don't think she has to, but the choice to be silent is also an action. And that will be judged.
And this next line is the one that really needs to be pulled apart because it sounds wise and it's actually a trap. Silence is also an action, and it will be judged. I understand the thinking. 3 years in, you're not the deer in headlights rookie anymore. And when you're the single most recognizable name in your entire sport, what you choose not to say does carry weight. That's fair. I'll give that its due. But look closely at the machine that's being built with that sentence. If Caitlin Clark says nothing, she's guilty. Silence equals complicity. She doesn't care. She's part of the problem. And if she does speak, well, then we get to grade it, weigh it, decide whether it counted, decide whether it was enough or too late or too calculated. Do you see it? There is no version of this where she passes. The test is designed with no correct answer. And the reason I can say that so confidently is what we're about to prove in the very next clip, because Caitlin Clark did not stay silent. She already spoke, and not just once.
And for me, this is the opinion of Roz, I think it would be cool to hear from Caitlin. I think she's a good person. I'm sure she's not at all, you know, hoping these types of things happen to her fellow colleagues of the WNBA. I think it'd be cool if, like, she was like, yo, don't do this.
Now, she did that. She actually came out and spoke. She already did this before. She came out and did it again.
Here it is, straight from the same analyst, that it would be cool to hear from Caitlin, followed immediately by the admission that she actually already came out and spoke. So let's be exact about what already happened, because this is the hinge of the whole thing. Caitlin Clark has publicly, on the record, condemned the online harassment aimed at players in this league. Not some vague thoughts and prayers statement. She has said directly that she does not want people using her name or her fandom as a weapon against other players, that she hates seeing it and that it needs to stop. She said it. Then, when it kept happening, she said it again. She did the precise thing this crowd claims to be demanding. And the hatred for her did not soften by 1 degree. Nobody logged off. Nobody said, oh, fair enough. She stepped up. So follow that all the way to the bottom. The demand was, Caitlin, say something. She said something, twice. Nothing changed, which can only mean one thing. The words were never actually the point. If doing exactly what someone asks moves them 0 inches, then they were never going to be satisfied by words. They just needed a justification.
And you two are still going to hate on her. It's not going to change anything. She is still going to be hated by people like you and McCautry and all of y'all. Y'all are still going to hate her. Even though she came out and did exactly what you said. And y'all still gonna hate her. It's nothing she can do. You know why? Because y'all are the ones who actually don't like her because of her skin color and the fact that she got so much popularity. It don't matter what she say. She came out and did exactly what you just said, and y'all still not going.
So if it's not about the video, And it's not about whether Clark speaks, then what is it about? The host of this clip says it plainly. And this is the part that's going to make some people uncomfortable. They are going to keep hating her no matter what, because the thing they can't stand isn't anything she did. It's who she is and how popular she got. And whether or not you want to sign your name to that, look at the pattern, because it's bigger than one team video. Earlier this season, the WNBA's own social media put out a promo graphic to hype a nationally televised game. And instead of featuring Caitlin Clark, the most talked about athlete in the sport, they featured Raven Johnson, a rookie averaging right around 1 point a game at the time. The league itself keeps finding ways to position Johnson out in front of Clark. So here's the cruel irony stacked on top of it. The institution props Raven Johnson up specifically to sidestep Clark, and then a chunk of the internet tears Raven Johnson down specifically for embracing Clark. She gets used as a shield in one story and burned as a traitor in the next. And in both of them, she's just a prop in somebody else's war over Caitlin Clark. Nobody in this is actually thinking about Raven Johnson the person. She's a chess piece, and chess pieces get sacrificed.
Shady McCoy addressing this Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas situation, and Acho trying to play victim.
Knowing that, right? Will you not talk about Caitlin Clark no more? Of course I will. All right. So you already knew that. That's what comes with it. I'm with it. I hate these type of conversations just because, first of all, Alyssa Thomas, great player. She's from my area, like suburbs of my area, where I'm from, my hometown. Big fan of her for years, since high school, and her brother. But this right here, you know what this is called? This is called sports, professional sports. If you don't like it, don't play.
So let's bring in somebody who has actually lived on the receiving end of this, the person the whole crowd wants to destroy. This is LaShawn McCoy, Shady McCoy, a man who spent over a decade taking real hits in the NFL and being a lightning rod the entire time. And his take is blunt to the point of harsh. This is professional sports, and if you can't stomach what comes attached to it, then don't play. Now, I want to be fair here, because I don't think that's the complete answer, and I don't think everything the other side feels is pure hate either. There are fans who genuinely believe Clark gets favorable whistles, who resent how much airtime and how many magazine covers she pulls, who feel like the whole sport suddenly revolves around one player. Those are real feelings, and they're allowed to have them. But here's where McCoy cuts through it. He's not lecturing from the cheap seats. He's talking as a guy who was the name everybody wanted to rip apart. And he's telling you a hard truth. The spotlight is not a gift. The spotlight is a target with your name painted on it, and it comes bundled with a check. And that truth doesn't just apply to Caitlin Clark. It just landed hard on Raven Johnson, who found out you can get lit up from the exact opposite direction.
Because what do you want the NBA to do? What do you want the NFL to do? What do you want them to do? You can't make fans not be fans. That's what makes fans special. Right now, you hope that nothing happens, but they get so passionate and they saying this is saying that, F you, F your mama. You've heard so many crazy things from these fans, and that's what makes the sport game so special. So my message to her is, there's nothing that the WNBA can do about it. They can't stop fans for...
And this next part is what nobody in the comment section wants to hear, but it's simply true. McCoy points out that you cannot force fans to stop being fans, and that there is nothing, genuinely nothing, the WNBA can actually do to stop what's happening. He's not guessing. He says he has personally gotten death threats, gotten disgusting things fired into his DMs over the outcome of games. Now think about who else in this exact story knows precisely what that feels like. Raven Johnson. Because this is not remotely her first time getting swallowed by an internet mob. Rewind to the 2023 Final Four, when she was still at South Carolina. Caitlin Clark, then at Iowa, waved her off at the three-point line and flat refused to guard her, basically telling the whole arena she wasn't a threat to shoot. And that clip went everywhere. The last time the internet came for Raven Johnson, it was Caitlin Clark's fans doing the abusing. This time, it's people furious that she dared to be kind to Caitlin Clark. Same young woman, opposite mob. Even her own teammate Aliyah Boston, who came up with her at South Carolina, has flat out said the fans always have way more beef than the players ever do. The players are fine, it's the audience that's at war. And Raven Johnson keeps getting caught in the crossfire from both directions, punished when she battled Clark, punished when she loves her, which means there was never a right answer available to her in the first place.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Because if not, it's going to keep coming out. When you talk about the biggest player of women's basketball history, you're going to get people to talk about you. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shady, you right on. You're right on. You are right on, man. I think that...
And that carries us all the way back to the word we opened on, revoked. McCoy hands us the real answer almost by accident. The second you say anything at all about the biggest player in the history of women's basketball, people are going to have something to say about you. That's the engine underneath every bit of this. That's the whole machine. This was never about a team congratulations video. It was never really about whether Caitlin Clark said the magic words, because she said them more than once and it changed absolutely nothing. Raven Johnson became a target the instant she attached her name, warmly and publicly, to Clark. Because Clark is the most polarizing, most watched, most fought-over athlete this league has ever produced. This is a kid who nearly walked away from basketball over online hate before she ever turned pro, and now she's catching that same hate from the complete opposite side for the crime of being nice. So I'll leave it with you, and I actually want your answer. If you made it all the way to the end of this, you already know how you feel. So do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, tap the bell, and drop your take down below. Let's get into it.